guiding light is all I know. Through wood and steel, through fire and lace, I'm blessed to walk within your grace. You laid the path before me, you guided every step. Raise the hammer, string the bow, her gift is all I need to know. Through toil and trial, through heart and hand, her grace builds up this mighty land. Is the grass the dead time it's sore? Don't find it empty, our cry is near. By the grace of the goddess we are free. We'll build the land, our hearts within. From dawn till dusk, I work, I strive. With your blessing, I'll survive. The loom, the forge, the sword, the grain in your name, I rise again. Futsa and Nirt, Futsa and Chiel, got Bua, got Tolan, got Trio. In you lies strength, in you lies skill. Each victory, each talent, each trial. Great, no skill too small. Your gifts, dear goddess, guide us all. Dandusiolas, Mila Truar, Ahledurai, fade our nights into falls. Without your light, we have no guide, but with your hand, our place abide. String the bow, her gift is all I need to know. Through toil and trial, through heart and hand, her grace builds up this mighty land. Is the grass the dead time it's sore? Don't find me until our greatest deed. By the grace of the goddess we are free. We'll build the land, our hearts within. To walk within your grace, blessed by her grace, forever, forever.
Hello, welcome to another episode of Pax Dei, The Search for Steel. I am your host, Daniel, and I'll be taking you through this new topic that's associated with every other topic that we have. So, what do we have tonight? Well, we have resilience, turning adversity into growth. Very important topic, as we're going to do some armor smithing, because I'm really close to leveling up. And I really need wrought iron wire. And I don't know if I have any off the top. But in this episode, you'll see we're going to go through a lot. This might actually take 2 nights because, yeah, there's a lot to this topic, and I hope everybody can relate to it and hopefully come away with more tools to overcome whatever adversity that you have in life. We are here because I want to check to see that's harder to make and it costs more. A lot more. So let's do this one. Let's see if this will work. It's all about critical thinking. What do I need to do? How much does it cost me? And this is just leveling up. I don't need these. However, I could possibly sell them, but I'll probably throw them out because I'm not going to keep these. They're not a bad butted chain. With 3, level 3. There's lesser, so 3 is a greater. I think there's a 4 in there somewhere. Let's see, we got 20,000 more, and maybe easy is easy, and it's great for role playing. However, easy doesn't automatically succeed every time you try it, so I could fail here. You get some experience, but I still don't like their failure rate. I think if you fail more often, you should get a higher experience level point. And that would be mimicking life a little bit. So in 128, so we've gone through all this, what we're trying to do in this channel is use ancient knowledge to better ourselves in our personal lives, our work lives, and our role-playing game lives. Essentially crafting a society that we all can get behind, right? Where we can feel safe, where we can essentially understand the world around us, the people around us, empathize to a great degree, not to a detrimental degree. What do I mean by that? We don't want to be, for lack of a better word, duped. Knowingly would be worse. Well, actually, knowingly is better because at least you're accepting the upcoming quote-unquote duping, but you're really not duped at that point, are you? Anyway, let's start off with this episode and see what we can do as far as increasing our knowledge together. If there's any comments, please use the comment section. Also, if you have any, if you're listening to this on a reload or just a after the live, yes, only 22. Yeah, I'm gonna have to do some a little bit more. Wow, that's 800 sheets. Iron or fuck? Iron. Ugh. Leather bands, wrought iron studs, wrought iron buckles, oiled leather. Well, let me think about it. Anyway. See if I can put any of these quotes into my market. And I didn't fix that glitch yet. Okay. I have 120 things in here and nobody's come by and bought anything. This one. Oh, yeah, here we go. This one I'm gonna sell for 50. Do I? That's 75. Let's do 100 on these. Let's create the sell of 100. And we'll see what happens. Again, just like in real life, you gotta test the market. And I'll probably advertise my market a little bit more here shortly. I use AI to help craft a role-playing type market. Sounding advertisement, if you will. Yeah, a second ago. Okay. There we go. And I can put everything else back. Yep. Not what I was looking for. There we go. That's the one. Probably get this leather bands. Let's put that in there and there. Lanterns are awesome. All right. What do I need? I do need leather. So what we'll do is we'll get some. We'll go get some. Get the curved longbow going. Definitely bring the tonics with us, just in case I am not exactly where I need to be as far as bring this along. That's the fine one-handed spear. Should have a two-handed spear somewhere. And let's bring this one just for grins. And then I'll bring that along. I have the axe somewhere. Yeah, the axe. Just in case. I'm going hunting, so skinning is going to be a thing. As a matter of fact, I'll do that. Because I really don't want to waste these arrows on something. Wrought iron, wrought iron. Combine those. And do I have any short? I don't know. That's short fine wood. I don't need the fine. I just need it. Okay. So once we get this in there, I'll go hunting in my hunting area. I just need 2 of these. Or 3. I'll need 2 more of these. It's been a while since I've done this. I haven't hunted in a while. There we go. I need 2 more. They're 1-to-1, short to a stack of arrows, so I am glad the devs did that because that would be really annoying if they did the hot dog packages. If you get that reference. All right. Other than that, let's start out on our conversation. So imagine standing amid smoke and sparks of a blacksmith's forge. In front of you, raw steel is hammered and heated to its limit, but instead of breaking, it becomes stronger, sharper, more resilient. That image of steel tempered by fire is a powerful metaphor for resilience in our lives. Resilience is the human capacity to endure hardship and come back stronger, much like steel that has been through the flames. So in this episode, we'll explore how adversity can become the very force that hardens our resolve and hones our character. We'll journey through inspiring stories and insights from ancient philosophers to modern psychologists, from personal struggles to workplace setbacks, and even into the worlds of the MMORPG gaming area. All to understand how we can turn adversity into growth. By the end of this, you'll see how resilience is forged through challenges and how you can cultivate in your own life. That's not what that's. So let's start with what is resilience. Modern psychology defines resilience as, quote, the process of adapting well in the face of adversity, trauma, tragedy, threats, or significant sources of stress. In simple terms, it's our ability to bounce back. Difficult experience, completely, or difficult experiences. This isn't about never feeling pain or avoiding hardship. It's about how we respond when hardship inevitably comes. The American Psychological Association emphasizes that resilience doesn't mean a person who won't experience distress or difficulty. Rather, it means they can recover and keep going in spite of challenges. Importantly, resilience is not a fixed trait. You either have it or lack it. It involves thoughts, behaviors, and skills that can be learned and developed by anyone. In other words, we can all train ourselves to be more resilient, much like building muscle. While psychology gives us the clear definition, or a clear definition, the idea of resilience is ancient and universal. Throughout histories, cultures and the world have celebrated the capacity to endure and grow from trials. For example, the Stoic philosophers of ancient Greece saw adversity as a crucible of character. The Stoic teacher Epictetus, I have no idea. Epictetus. I think it's Titus. So Epictetus famously imagined a conversation with the hero Hercules. What would have become of Hercules if there had been no lion, no hydra, stag, or boar, and no savage criminals to rid the world of? By snoring his life away in luxury and comfort, he would never have developed into the mighty Hercules. In other words, without challenges to test him, even Hercules would never have become strong. I have to see what I need as far as food is concerned. I can do this in two ways, by the way, as we take a break from the material, the actual resilience lecture, and go into a little bit of gaming. I do float in between, so forgive me. I think they're both important, especially since I'm trying to promote Pax Dei at the same time, because this game is awesome. All right. I'm going to go, as a matter of fact, you know what? Let's see if we can get this work. They're wooden arrows. That's why it took so long. Don't need any of that. I'm looking for 2-star skins. All right. The Stoics believe that difficulties reveal our inner strength, and even can be welcomed as opportunities to grow in virtue. This echoes the Stoic maxim. So if you ever heard this, quote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way," meaning obstacle is the path forward. To them, resilience was about using each setback as raw material for progress. Across the world in ancient China, we find a similar respect for perseverance. There's a common Chinese expression. I'm going to try to pronounce this, so forgive me. It is Chiku, which literally means to eat bitterness. This phrase is used to praise someone's ability to endure hardship with fortitude, rather than seeing suffering as something that to avoid at all costs. Waiting for my hit points to come back up. The Chinese culture often frames endurance as a virtue that builds character. Likewise, a Japanese proverb advises, quote, "Fall down 7 times and stand up 8." capturing the idea that no matter how often life knocks you over, you get back up on your feet. In India, the concept of, oh, I'm going to butcher this one too. Patiksa from Vedanic philosophy teaches patient forbearance in the face of difficulties. Titiksa is often defined as endurance of all afflictions without countering them, without anxiety or lamentation. In other words, to withstand hardships calmly and without giving into despair. The Bhagavad Gavita, or no, sorry, I used to know this one. Bhagavad Gita, an ancient Indian text, counsels a similar attitude, urging one to accept life's ups and downs, heat and cold, pleasure and pain, and as passing phases and endure them bravely. These philosophies convey a cross-cultural insight. Resilience is often rooted in acceptance of reality and maintaining inner equanimity rather than raging at misfortune. I'm looking for that guy right there. Ooh, I missed him. That's all right. This is how you fight wolves without taking damage. I'm just making it look good by backing up and going around a little bit, but you don't have to actually move side to side. You can just back up, honestly. It doesn't look so good. There we go. As a matter of fact, you know what? I'm going to pray for some grace. Nope. Gathering. I want skinning. There we go. I'll be able to skin better and actually get higher value pelts and such. They introduced it. I can't remember when they introduced it, but I am okay with it. On the crafting side, I haven't used it as often. I used it really a lot when it first came out, and then they told me there was an error in it, and I was like, ah, crap. Oh, by the way, bows are difficult, but not impossible. So just FYI there. Where is he? See these little circles I'm trying to aim at? There he is. There we go. And there's another guy over here. So once you get the lay of your land, you're actually a pretty good hunter. Right? Oh, that was way off. I can't believe I did that. Oh, really? There we go. That was just horrible. Now I have to pick these up. I'll make some more arrows. I really don't want to use my wrought iron arrows unless they're against actual enemies. And I'm not going to look at my notes going down this freaking death trap. So I will be going back to my notes here shortly. There we go. Nope. I waited too long. I didn't think I'd get him. Oh, shit. That was my own fault. Did 21 to me. Need that. Okay. So where did we leave off here? So the Middle East offers wisdom as well on resilience. Sufi poets like Rumi turned personal adversary, or personal adversity into spiritual insight. Rumi and Rumai, maybe? I'm going all over the world here, changing my pronunciations is interesting to say the least. See if I can hit him. No. I can't believe I hit him. You notice I'm getting a little bit more skinning from the beer than I normally would. There's a little bit of, oh, really? That thing? I was surprised that thing actually got my way. Anyway. All right. So Rumi, who lived through the tumultuous 13th century Persia, wrote a verse that speaks directly to the value of life's abrasions, if you will. He said, quote, "If you are irritated by every rub, how will your mirror be polished?" In this poetic image, each rub or each irritation or hardship is something negative. Rumi suggests that our hardships can burnish us, refining our character and wisdom. In a similar vein, Middle Eastern and Islamic teachings praise sabar, savior, or patience as a noble quality. The Quran actually frequently mentions that, quote, God is with those who patiently persevere. The story of Job, revered in the Judeo-Christian and Islamic traditions, in which Job endures tremendous suffering in order without losing faith, is another archetype of resilience. The idea of steadfast. I hate these things. I didn't think he was there. That's alright. Let's wait for this guy. It's like, there we go. Really? You always wait. Like I said, all you really have to do is back up. I'm making it a little bit more dramatic. Right? Back it up. Kind of going side to side. It's all about timing, really. There we go. All right. So where was I? So let's go to African cultures with their rich oral traditions. Oh my God. I don't mind the extra skins, but man, And they give you these nice ones there. Get rid of that one. Get rid of that one. Those. These. I'll need those. I don't know how I picked that up. Oh, actually, that's not this thing. Let's get this. Craft arrows. Let me get this battle out of the way real quick, and we'll start in on the African proverbs. These guys you can't back up from. I haven't found a way to avoid their attacks. Ors just eat your shield. That's what they do. But you need the boars because it's good cooking. There we go. Let's do that. I forgot to. Don't forget to eat. Pro tip. All right, let's go to the African cultures, where these rich oral traditions offer many proverbs about bouncing back from difficulties. One East African, the Swahili proverb says, "Oh boy." Kuputi Nija Nidio Huja Nija, which translates, hopefully, I got this right, to get lost is to learn the way. In other words, making mistakes or losing your way isn't the end, it's how you discover new paths. Failure is seen as a part of the journey to success. Getting lost is what teaches you what doesn't work and thereby points you toward what will. Yeah, that's... Didn't think one was around here. I'll take it. They're badgers, but I call them angry possums. I'm trying to judge the amount of distance for the bow. So you'll see me take stupid shots, and that's okay. Or what's thought of as stupid shots. As I'm trying to gauge which bow does what and how accurate it is. Anyway, at any rate. Another proverb from West Africa in the Wolof language says, "Garap lo tibia gadriu na saja," or the split tree still grows. The image of a tree trunk that has been cracked or split, yet it continues to grow new branches. A powerful metaphor for resilience and rebirth after trauma. And a famous African saying assures us, "However long the night, the dawn will break." No matter how endless or dark a hardship seems, it will eventually pass and a new day will come. These folk wisdoms convey hope and the importance of persistence. They reflect a communal understanding that endurance leads to renewal. Indigenous peoples around the world also share these teachings about resilience, often rooted in a deep relationship with nature and community. Many Native American traditions emphasize that hardship is not to be faced alone. Resilience comes from solidarity with one's family, tribe, and the natural world. There's a Lakota saying taught to us by Chief Sitting Bull. Quote, let us put our minds together and see what life we can make for our children. Unquote. This highlights resilience and the collective effort to overcome adversity for the sake of future generations. Let's see which direction he comes. Hey, let's go in there. I don't know why. Did he run? See him. I'm expecting to bring just for more arrows. So I didn't bring an axe. I see him. Oh, all right. He's gone. We need to stick around, I suppose. Did it run him off the cliff? That would actually be good. You can. All right. Where did I leave off? And then we have the modern indigenous voices like Wilma Mankiller, the first female chief of the Cherokee Nation, who succinctly said, quote, "The secret of our success is that we never, never give up." That refusal to give up, no matter the odds, lies at the heart of resilience. It's a mindset deeply embedded in our cultures. That have survived centuries of hardship, from forced migration to loss of lands, yet continue to preserve their identity and seek a better future for the next generation. Get out of this foggy. I mean, the pale. Pale has fog. It should be out now. Fog. Crap. You gotta be careful with the fog. There he is. Get him? Nope. Nope. Yeah, I'm not done. I didn't want to have to chase them. Honestly, chasing them is more annoying than anything. I didn't want to pick up. That's right. Let me do this real quick. Okay. Let's see. What do we got? So as we're seeing, right, resilience is a universal human theme. Across time and cultures, people have recognized that adversity is an inevitable part of life, and they have left us wisdom on how to face it. From Stoic philosophers and Sufi poets to African elders and indigenous leaders, the message is remarkably consistent. Hardships can make us stronger, wiser, and more compassionate if we meet them with the right attitude. In essence, resilience is about how we interpret and respond to the challenges thrown at us. We do not see challenges as doom or tests and teachers. Oh, excuse me. Let me say that a different way because I was reading my notes. Do we see challenges as doom or tests and teachers? Can we keep hope alive in the darkest hour? Can we find meaning or growth in our pain? These are questions humans have grappled with for ages. Next, we'll bridge this ancient wisdom with modern science. What does psychology tell us about resilience? Is there proof that resilience matters and can be cultivated? Well, let's find out after this brief where the heck am I? And I need to move these up here. Everything works left, right, and down as you're using. So if you're ever in the game, I would be using the wooden arrows, then I would go to the other arrows. I'm gonna rip most of this stuff. I don't need that in there. Okay. I think the next one is at the bridge. But let's go. Let's go. All right. I actually look like a hunter here. Doesn't that impress? It's very impressive. And I know these lands, so everything that I'm doing is I know where my prey is and which ones to stay away from. That's one thing the game does do well is you have the ability to stay away from things that will kill you or run. His sprint does help. And my stamina right now at 195 is a really good indicator. All right, so I have one guy there. And one guy there. Ooh, I thought I'd get him. There we go. I didn't want to have to run after him, honestly. These are 4 deer easily gotten. And 1 boar, technically. So if you have any questions, drop them in the chat. I don't think I'm telling anybody anything mind-blowing. Old boars are tougher than the other boars. There we go. There we go. Okay. Let's see. So let's talk the psychology of resilience. Modern psychology has taken those old age questions about resilience and examined them through research. The good news is that science affirms much of what the wisdom traditions have long suggested. Resilience is real, it is common, and it can be learned. In fact, some studies show that resilience in the face of trauma or loss is more common than often believed. Ah, come on. There we go. See if I can get 4 out. Yeah, I'm getting better at this stuff, but there is embarrassed. There's the other one. Stags are really cool because they give you other. Really? That was my own fault, but I gotta give you the. Really? I missed? Alright, let me get these two and we'll start in on the. So, most people, given time and support, do recover from serious life events. Psychologist George Monano, for example, has documented that a large portion of people are able to maintain or regain mental health after tragedies. Resilience is not some rare superpower of a few special individuals, but a normal part of human adaptation. This is encouraging. It means we are innately equipped to handle much more than we think. Which, if you put a little bit of thought behind that or reason behind that, we have to look back at our Oh, you got me. That's it. With my current concoction foods, I'm actually going up in health pretty good. Are you kidding? I didn't think I was going to get that at all. I was like, oh, he's gone. And yet, totally got him. Easy. I'll take it though, you know what I mean? Yeah. I'm thinking by the moonlight. All right. Oh, come on. Don't have to lead it that much. There we go. All right, let's stand here for just a second and appreciate the moon. I love that. Look at that. All right. So researchers have refined the definition of resilience over the years. It's seen not just as bouncing back to a baseline, but it's sometimes bouncing forward, finding a new equilibrium or growth after adversity. There's a concept in psychology called post-traumatic growth. which refers to positive personal changes that can arise from struggles and suffering. For instance, someone might develop a stronger sense of purpose, deeper relationships, or a newfound appreciation for life after surviving a crisis. One research article defines resilience as the development of confidence despite severe adversity, highlighting that there are multiple pathways to resilience. Some people might visibly power through challenges. Others might initially struggle, but slowly heal. Yet others transform their trauma into a cause or a creative outlet. There's no single formula, but the underlying processes can be similar. Oh, there he is. Really? Mushrooms. Ah. See if I can get him. Oop. Didn't think I would be getting it, but I got him. We got him. See where this deer's coming in. I approach these guys differently, and it seemed to actually work out better, honestly. I got more deer. Showing up my cast iron or my wrought iron arrow hits, that's fine. Okay. So what are those processes we're talking about? Well, psychology or psychological resilience rests on a few key pillars. The primary factor, studies say, is social support. Having caring relationships and a sense of connection. Humans are social creatures. When we know we're not facing challenges alone, we cope much better. This is probably why we seek out like-minded individuals, or seek out we create or craft trauma groups based off of the specific trauma, not just any trauma, right? Well, this is why families, friendships, and support groups, or mentorships, are so crucial in tough times. Feeling understood and supported boosts our resilience. Another factor is optimism, or a hopeful outlook, not blind Pollyanna optimism, but a realistic belief that things can improve and that you have the ability to influence your situation. Psychologists call this self-efficacy and internal locus of control. Basically, confidence in your own strengths and problem-solving abilities. If you trust your capacity to handle problems, you're more likely to actually navigate them well. Resilient people often have a positive view of themselves and their ability to adapt, which becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. So far, and this is why I want to bring this subject up. The fact that we're talking about this is for the very reason that it's connected to the conversations we've had in the last couple episodes with critical thinking. The more or better your critical thinking skills, the more apt or confident you will be in overcoming these issues or these problems or this trauma. right? If you're what did I just say, right? Resilient people often have a positive outlook. Oh, really? There we go. Resilient people often have a positive outlook, right? Meaning, whereas or a positive view of themselves and their ability to adapt. So if you're critically thinking through something, your ability to adapt should be off the charts, or at least you have the tools to continue to pursue through that difficult time because you have the tools necessary to affect yourself, right? So cognitive skills also play. Like I was saying, positive problem solving and critical thinking help in making realistic plans and carrying them out. When adversity hits, being able to calmly address the situation, brainstorm solutions or alternatives, and then take action makes a huge difference. It's the opposite of feeling helpless. This is why one of those strategies for resilience, per APA, is to, quote, accept that change is part of living. A focus on what you can control, very stoic in nature. By accepting that some events are outside your power, like an illness outbreak or a sudden job loss in the economy, and zeroing in on the aspects you do have agency over, like how you respond, where you seek help, what new skills you learn, you regain a sense of control. That shift in mindset from victim of circumstance to active problem solver is a hallmark of resilient thinking. Let me advance my. I was actually looking for some sticks because I really don't want to use my wrought iron arrow tips, but that's fine. I had a sneeze. Unsolicited and unpaid for sponsor spot of Zevia, 0 calorie, 0 sugar cola, which is amazing. The sugar is stevia plant, as you might have guessed from the wordplay of Zevia. Stevia is a sweetener which has a better, well, it doesn't spike your insulin, so it might raise it a little bit, but it doesn't spike it like sugar, or worse. What's worse than sugar? The what do you call that? Aspartame in diet sodas. It's horrible, and it spikes your blood sugar. Oh my god, so worse than sugar. You might as well just drink sugar. It's absolutely insane that we allow such advertising to exist. It's sugar free. Yep, yeah, you can say that. It absolutely is. You are absolutely right. I should start marking all these grapes, but honestly, I don't need them right now. Let's see where we are. I'll come at them from a different angle after I take this board out. There we go. What did I want to do? I wanted to eat. That's why I came in here. I think I've let him too much. Would be great. Gotta worry about the gray bear because I don't want him to attack. Normally, I shouldn't say. Before the update, I could attack a gray bear and not be at all worried about it. Now, not so much. They're like 4 in their attack pattern, which means you need a shield that can handle it. Oh, I forgot I'm not using the normal stick arrows. Actually using arrows that cost some money here. See if I have enough to craft. All right, so let's talk emotionally. Resilience doesn't mean ignoring the pain. It often means experiencing emotions fully, but also finding out ways to move forward. Psychologists describe it as a balance between flexibility and strength. It's healthy to let yourself feel sadness, anger, or grief when bad things happen. Suppressing emotions can backfire. That's not what we're talking about here. Yet resilience involves knowing when to step back from overwhelming feelings so you can continue to function. This might mean taking breaks, practicing self-care, or sometimes using humor and distraction to cope momentarily, and then coming back to face the issue with a clearer head. The ability to recover from stress also has a physical aspect. Our brains and our bodies are involved. Research on stress physiology shows that resilient individuals tend to regulate their stress response effectively. Their heart rate and cortisol, their stress hormone, levels may spike under duress, but then return to normal more quickly than less resilient individuals. Practices like deep breathing, mindfulness meditation, or even exercise can improve this stress recovery and are often recommended to build resilience. We'll talk more about practices soon. An interesting modern development. Oh, give me a second. Let me do this. There we go. And drop some things I don't need. Keep most of these things, but not all of them. There we go. Crap. I'll soften them up before I go in with the sword. I don't really have the armor nor the hit points right now. If I keep avoiding them, I'll be fine. He's pretty powerful close up too. C65. That hurt. I think I was behind the tree too much. There we go. Man, that was a lot of damage for that. That's alright. And I didn't have something to eat, which sucks. But what can you do? Can't believe I pulled You know what? That deer is not worth that type of combat, especially since I took that much damage. Okay, back. Okay, so there's an interesting modern development in its concept called anti-fragility, popularized by a statistician, Nassim Nicholas Taleb. Being anti-fragile goes a step beyond resilience. If resilience is about withstanding shocks and bouncing back, anti-fragility means actually growing stronger because of those shocks. Taleb points out that certain systems, like our immune system or muscle fibers, improve when stressed or challenged in moderate ways. Lifting weights tears muscle fibers, but then they heal back stronger. That's anti-fragile behavior. At a psychological level, we see this when somebody not only recovers from a setback, but uses it as a springboard for growth. Essentially, we're turning adversity into advantage. A resilient business, for example, might survive a market crash, but anti-fragile businesses might learn from it and innovate new products that thrive in the changed market. The idea resonates with the theme of this episode, turning adversity into growth. While anti-fragility is never a buzzword, or a newer buzzword, it aligns with an old age notion that doesn't kill you. What doesn't kill you can indeed make you stronger. If you adapt and learn from it, that's the key, right? One Resilience Institute described anti-fragility as the ability, quote, the ability to improve function or capability in the face of adversity. Stressors, shocks, volatility, failures, attacks, tying it to the concept of post-traumatic growth. So, in an optimal scenario, we don't just return to who we are before a crisis. We come out wiser, tougher, and more skilled. Or more skilled. Or more skilled, in my opinion. Alright, where are we? Yeah, I'm going after this guy. There used to be a direwolf over here, but they kind of took him away. That is okay. I need to get more sticks. Any more sticks? Just next time I gotta bring that freaking axe. Picking up sticks takes too long. It's up this way. I haven't been up this way in a while. Is that a bear? You. Always check before you fire. Might look like a boar from a distance, but if it's a bear, that's some explaining to do. I'm in bear country too. There's a lot of bears over this way. See if I can craft something here. Craft 2. That's nice. Okay. So it's worth noting that resilience is contextual and dynamic. You might be resilient in one domain of life and not as much in another. Someone could handle work stress brilliant, but fail or fall apart in a personal relationship crisis, or vice versa. And resilience can fluctuate. You might cope well at first, but wear down over a prolonged challenge, or initially struggle, then find your footing. This is normal. Or resilience is influenced by specific circumstances, by our past experiences, or even by your cultural background. For example, community-oriented cultures might draw resilience from group solidarity, whereas more individualistic cultures might focus on inner self-reliance. Neither is right or wrong. They are just different resilience sides. Okay, sorry, gotta get back on the road. Let me find out where the heck I am. Yeah, I guess I'm on the road. Because the other way is bears. There's a direwolf. Let's attack the direwolf. Is it a hitboxes? Oh, now I get them as I move. I'm not sure. They'll probably change this in the next one. Because our wolves are still a little too easy. And I don't mean that, in a good way to the developers if you watch this program. You gotta be able to kill one-on-one sometimes. You can't just continually freaking throw stuff at us. There's gotta be some individual what's a good thing to say? Some individual accomplishments without having to have your friends online to do them. So please keep that in mind. Like I said, I don't mind that they made things tougher. I like it, but MMORPGs, you can't rely on your friends all the time. There's certain times when people are not going to be near you or available online or on vacation. But you still want to play the game you love. Gotta think of where I can go up here. Maybe if I get this way. When you get close, they'll run. Like that one should run. This one should come back soon. Or at least I would have thought. How far did it run? You know what I mean? Can grab these branches while I'm up here. Origin for branches. I'll need the white grapes, but I'll drop them. There we go. Where'd my beer go? Ah, there he is. Here's one of them anyway. And I should have another one over here somewhere. Ah, there it is. And we'll get rid of some of these. Don't need that one, don't need that one. Move these over. There we go. Alright. This guy's back. There we go. Much better. How many? Alright, let's do this as well over here. Alright, so. And I think I just exited the crafting. I did. There we go. All right, so the key takeaway from the science is hopeful. We can all cultivate greater resilience. The brain is plastic, meaning it can rewire itself through experience. Psychologists have developed resilience training programs for communities, workplaces, military personnel, etc., that have shown success in reducing stress and improving coping skills. Even simply learning about resilience, as we're doing right now, can shift your mindset. You begin to see obstacles less as roadblocks and more as problems to solve or challenges to manage. Think of it as becoming your own coach in tough times. Telling yourself, yeah, okay, this is hard, but I've gone through hard things before. What can I do next? Who can I reach out to? What's one small step? That inner dialogue, based on resilient mindset, can carry you through a lot. Now that we have a solid understanding of what resilience is and the psychological factors that underlie it, next, to bring this to life, let's look at real-world stories of resilience. Hearing how others have overcome adversity can be incredibly inspiring and instructive. We'll start with personal life examples, individuals who faced failure or tragedy and emerged stronger. All right, let's pause there for just one moment as I grab more tree branches. Do I have anything over here? These are all bears down this way, honestly. If I remember right. Let's go up. Okay. Nothing drives home the power of resilience better than real stories of people who refuse to give up. Especially when life just knocked them down. So let's explore. A few compelling examples here. Avoiding the overly familiar pandemic tales or other things, right? That show how adversity can fuel personal growth. One classic story of personal resilience is that of Thomas Edison, one of history's greatest inventors. As successful as Edison became, he encountered countless failures on the way to his breakthroughs. In developing the light bulb, Edison tested thousands of different materials for the filament. Legend has it that he performed 1,000 unsuccessful experiments. Some accounts even say 10,000, before finally finding the one that worked. When a reporter asked him about these failures, Edison famously replied, "I have not failed 10,000 times. I have successfully found 10,000 ways that will not work." This reframing of failure as learning is a hallmark of resilience. Edison's persistence and positive mindset turned each experiment, even the duds, into feedback, pushing him closer to a solution. He treated each setback not as a defeat, but as an essential step in the innovation process. Eventually, the attitude paid off in the invention of a practical incandescent light bulb, which revolutionized the world. Edison's story reminds us that perseverance through repeated failure can lead to historic success. He once noted that many people give up, didn't realize how close they were to success when they quit. He just kept going a little further. So Thomas Edison is a famous example because I thought I'd include it because a lot of people can really attach themselves to stories like that one and remember them and recall them and spread them. Right? I did not even see those guys. Yeah, you guys are probably like, "Oh, heck did he?" Yeah, same here. I'm in the same boat. That was a shot. I really need to bring an axe next time. Picking up sticks is one thing, but man, it's not even close to how many I actually need to make the amount of arrows I'm actually consuming. As a hunter, you'll find that arrows, even on your best day, arrows run out. And hunting, you don't. With max hunting score, you don't really need to worry about things like this. Not getting this. See, that's my fault. Okay. So a similar tale of tenacity is that of James Dyson, the British inventor of the Dyson vacuum cleaner. Dyson went through 5,126 failed prototypes over 5 years before finally creating a working bagless vacuum. Imagine that. Thousands of trials and tweaks day after day with no success for years. It's the kind of grind that would make anyone want to throw in the towel. But Dyson learned from each failure. He said, "There were 5,126 failures, but I learned from each one of them. That's how I came up with a solution." So I don't mind failure. His ability to persist through thousands of failures without losing faith in the project is a powerful example of resilient mindset. Today, Dyson's company is hugely successful and often credits those early failures for teaching him what not to do. The lesson, resilience, means not seeing failure as the end, but as a teacher on the way to success. As long as you can extract the lesson from each mistake, you're still moving forward. Okay, let's call it here, because there's so much more about this that I want to go into, and I want to really enforce and probably start tomorrow, not tomorrow, but next Friday's episode. I want to really dive into this. Failure is the key to success, because I think it is. I don't think it is. I know it is. I teach everybody, even at work. If you come to me and you fail, I'm not going to judge you on the failure. If you come to me and you succeed, I'm not going to be as, how should I call it? If you come to me and succeed, I'll be like, yeah, awesome. But if you come to me and failure, I'm not going to yell at you. I'm going to be like, hey, cool. What'd you learn? Reflect on it. I can tell you the answer. And here's the answer. And then you'll be like, oh, I see where I went wrong. And you'll never forget it. Or at least I don't, when people bring failure to me. You know, if I'm failing and somebody says, oh, by the way, that was easy. All you had to do is this. No, let me write that down. I won't forget it. I might fail on a different aspect of it. I'm not going to fail on the same aspect of it. But with all that said, I'm going to call it a night for tonight, and we'll talk tomorrow, or not tomorrow, but the next time we have the episodes. Let's do that white thing. Some new people. Oh, yeah, there we go. I'm always doing some certain things that I shouldn't be doing. There's somebody's market. You know what? They play here. Let's see what we got. Strawberry meat. Yeah, it's not bad. Wrought iron shield. Oh, that's a 3-er for 90. That's not bad. No, just a. Let's see, that's a 2.3. That's a 2.3. So you probably put it in. I think I already have these. Yeah. I can sort of filter. Oh, cool. Sort of filter on the price. There you go. Oh, so the higher price is on the bottom. That's a 3-star clean. Not bad. All right. Anyway, with all that said, I'm gonna call it here. Run it back to my abode. But yeah, resilience is such a powerful addition to your toolbox and your mindset. Your mind is your toolbox, right? I mean, essentially, you're not going to go anywhere during the day if you're not thinking about the day itself. Maybe you want to shut off your brain. That's cool too. Every once in a while. Yeah, why not? Totally 100% behind that. But every once in a while, you'll want to release. We have so many stresses in today's society that this was a big episode. So if you want, put a comment in the comments, like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell. If there's any topics that I haven't hit or stories you want to tell, I'll be on LinkedIn, X, and I'll also be on where else am I? LinkedIn, X, YouTube. So feel free to reach out to me. Really, it's just gonna sit there. I'll take it. Sometimes they get stuck. Right, so it's nothing I would have cared about for having. You always take inventory while you're doing this because you have such a limited inventory. I got the box. There we go. But yeah, the episodes will keep coming. I have shorts, YouTube shorts that kind of mimic or not mimic, but they're YouTube shorts of the episodes that I create. I also have a music channel, Alicia Echoes. I am going to, I tried to put out a video today. I am so in my creator space that every time I look at it, I'm like, I could do better, I could do better, I could do better. And I just got to stop, and I gotta stop, finalize it and put it out. It's called Deadlines and Broken Clocks. It's about life in general, especially corporate life. But ultimately, I shouldn't say ultimately, please visit this channel. I've got like 6 or 7 videos now. Not all great, but you will see, if you take a look at them, that I hope you see. I feel I've improved every time. Give me your opinion, though. Give me a comment. Let me know. I think ultimately the skill level of and the application of certain AI I use as a tool has really grabbed my creativity and also has grabbed my ability to create. And I mean that's part of this channel actually is the ability for me to create these podcasts. The forward has a Suno song that I helped write and develop. And what you're about to hear at the end is a Suno song that I helped develop and write and direct and produce, if you will. So enjoy them. I hope you do. That's part of my mission is to provide a different outlet for people to consume their entertainment. I don't believe, well, I used to believe that Hollywood is the best thing ever since sliced bread. But they've proven time and time again that even when I was younger, they just wouldn't, they had their own vision. That's great. To have your own vision. I am totally on board with people having their own vision of, and it's their money, right? So again, not judging on that part of the equation. Although a lot of the things just didn't align with me anymore, or even when I was younger, especially certain stories. So I was like, man. So ultimately, I decided that when AI became a viable tool for me to envision certain things, right? I don't know if I can make an entire movie just yet on AI, but I'm going to make a short film on the allegory of the cave. Like, is that an allegory of the cave? I believe that mostly that we are creators. Everybody, in reality, we are creators. A lot of people say, I don't have a talent. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. If you found it, great. If you haven't, great. If you didn't recognize it, that's more likely the story. I've known talented electricians. I've known talented plumbers. I've known talented artists. I've known talented. I think you start seeing a pattern here. There's a lot of talent that you wouldn't necessarily say is a talent that you would ascribe to it, right? But you have it, and it's very important that you use it. And if your computer or AI can help you manifest the end production, please take advantage of it. The channel I do is, like I said, music. I have this podcast. I have the shorts. I have LinkedIn. I have an X account. I have, what else do I have? Well, I have the YouTube account. I usually post this live stream as a just a general post on Rumble the day after the live stream. Usually, I started doing that. I think I started at like 119. Certainly didn't start any sooner than that. I have so many episodes that to put them all on Rumble is going to take some time. Like an entire somebody, an assistant, if you will. So that's just not going to happen. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this stream. Like I said, comment, subscribe, like, share with your friends, and we'll talk to each other. Hopefully, I don't know if tomorrow I have night meetings, so I'm not going to be here at night. So the next episode should be around Friday. I hope you can join me. I'd like to nothing better than to finish this resilience, especially on a holiday such as Easter or Passover, which I think starts next week, Passover. So, it might start today, actually. But regardless, resilience, great topic for surrounding the topics from 124 to 127. So 124 to 127. Glad to have you here. Like I said, keep us in your thoughts, and have a good day, have a good night, no matter where you are in the world. Be kind to each other, and take care of yourself.
forging